Okay. Councillors, I asked you to consider over the lunch break whether or not you wanted a staff presentation on item 1316, the Downtown Tall Buildings Project Consultant Study, Public Consultation and Implementation. If you want the staff presentation, I'll take a motion. Otherwise, Councillor Mihevc?
You know, it's a big issue. I think we should have one.
So you're moving that we get the staff presentation. Just going to get a sense of the room. All those in favor of the staff presentation? Yeah. All those opposed? Okay, so we'll have a staff presentation. Mr. Lintern, jump up.
Actually going to just keep it brief to a few remarks given the hour and try to set the context. We're going to obviously hear some speakers and then with questions we can get into it some more later with staff. I'm joined here with Helen Bulat, who's the project manager on this file, and with Robert Friedman and Mary McDonald, who have all been involved in the various aspects of this. So Helen's just going to take us through a few high-level points, and then we'll get into your deputations.
So the Downtown Tall Buildings Report, what's it about? Well, it's a story about downtown tall building development, how tall buildings are to be developed, and where they are to be developed. The downtown is designated a growth center, and it will continue to be a focus for development. However, the question is one of shaping and guiding that growth. The city already has citywide tall building policies in the OP and citywide tall building design guidelines in place. But we thought that it was important to validate these citywide guidelines in the context of the downtown. We also wanted to understand where tall buildings should be encouraged to locate within the downtown and at what general height levels. This would form the downtown vision. So while the downtown is a growth center and the focus of intensification and infrastructure efforts, this doesn't mean that tall buildings are appropriate everywhere or on every downtown site. Some sites are not necessarily suitable for tall building development, but many are. These would be sites that can achieve certain standards, we call them performance standards, to eliminate or minimize negative impacts on adjacent buildings and on the public realm, streets, parks, open spaces. The consultant study, further staff consultation, and community and stakeholder consultation has been the basis of the staff report and its recommendations. The thrust of the performance standards looks at issues that are commonly pursued when discussing new tall building proposals in downtown neighborhoods, such as sunlight on parks, important views, heritage resources, relationships with adjacent buildings. Where tall buildings should be directed is captured on the mapping of the high streets that form part of the mapping of this report. How tall buildings should be built is found in the performance standards, 23 of them, which will be consolidated with the citywide guidelines in the near future. The consolidated guidelines will likely go before Planning and Growth Management Committee, likely in the second quarter of this year. So what we're bringing forward today is a report that contains guidelines. It's an addition to our toolkit. It directs staff, the development industry, downtown residents, and others to pay attention to the standards. Overall, the guidelines emphasize the downtown as an overall context, not site by site, and thus one site does not eclipse development potential of other sites or put undue hardship on the public realm or other existing buildings. It's a balancing act. It's important to continue to accommodate growth downtown, and it's not the intention to interfere with creativity or other development efficiencies that are considered as part of the process. What we're trying to do is to be more transparent, more equitable in achieving development downtown. Thank you.
Okay.